If you've ever taken a walk in the woods, you've probably noticed some of Tennessee's most beautiful residents. Bird watching is more popular than ever. And with more than 400 different species native to the volunteer state, well, this is a great place to enjoy them. A photographer in East Tennessee regularly hosts parties for our fine feathered friends, as Miranda Cohen shows us in this story.
Those birds way up on the wire are purple martins.
As the sun rises on this beautiful day in East Tennessee, Rebecca Boyd is already hard at work. All 416 acres of the Seven Islands State Birding Park, which is nestled along the French Broad River, are busy and bustling. It's the ideal place to capture the perfect photograph.
I was born and raised here. I've never lived anywhere else. This is home. I'm proud of my home. I think this is one of the most beautiful places to live in the entire country.
A love for the great outdoors and a budding photographer. And one day, her two great passions seem to merge.
When I got my first really good smartphone with a really good camera on it, around the same time that a friend of ours said, "Hey, you want a bluebird house? I've got one, I'll put it up in your yard." So those two things kind of came together at the same time of, oh, and I can take pictures of the bluebirds.
And that's how Rebecca Boyd became a wildlife photographer and created her studio, Ridge Rock Arts. The park and her own backyard provide a bounty of beautiful native species.
My yard has kind of become just a bird sanctuary, because over the years I feed every day. I keep out sunflower, safflower, suet, mealworms, you name it, for every kind of bird, and they've just accumulated. So at any given time, there's probably 30 or 40 species of birds flying around in my yard.
And when Boyd began to market her work, a fellow artist suggested that she needed to do more than just take a picture. She needed her photographs to tell a story. And that's when she landed on a unique and lavish idea.
Bluebirds are probably my number one passion. Got a picture of a female bluebird, didn't think too much of it, thought, well, that's cute. Posted it on Facebook. A fairly accomplished artist out of Kansas saw it, and she sent me a private message, and she goes, "Oh my, you are onto something here."
The photograph was one of her two resident Tennessee bluebirds she named Bogey and Bacall. And instead of photographing them mid-flight or in their natural habitat, she set a beautiful table and invited them to an elaborate tea party.
Alrighty, I'll do tea parties. I'll just start doing some more tea parties. So I thought, if I can do it once, I can do it twice. So I posted a couple, and I was getting a lot of good responses.
Boyd's tea parties became an instant hit, and it seemed everyone was trying to get on the invitation list. And who could blame them? Thanks to her family heirlooms and a local china dealer, she has an enviable collection of rare and vintage porcelain cups and saucers. And those exquisite, dainty cups are filled with delicious treats. That is, if you're a bird. Now, like any perfect hostess, Rebecca Boyd will set a beautiful table and prepare the kind of food she knows her friends love to eat. But like any dinner party or tea party, the hardest part is waiting for the guests to arrive. And for these very special guests, Rebecca will wait and wait and wait.
I probably waited as long as 2 hours. And then it's the waiting and the cussing and the no, turn around this direction. A lot of it has to do with timing and waiting until they turn the right direction and pose in the right direction. They're all real, I guarantee you. I do no photoshopping at all. The birds are there, the birds are real.
Boyd produces prints and note cards available through her social media and her website, Ridge Rock Arts. And she always creates a wildlife calendar. But this year, her upcoming calendar is entirely made up of tea party images.
This is the first all tea party. My other calendars have all been all bluebirds, but this is the first one that's been just tea parties. I try to kind of match the pictures to the season the best I can.
I think that's the first one I saw, and it just absolutely is gorgeous. The look and the expression on that bird's face.
That one was really fun. That was actually taken, it looks December, but that was actually taken in March when we had a snowstorm.
With every click of her camera, Boyd is capturing more than the vivid images in front of her lens. She is capturing a moment in time when some very special guests, dressed in their very finest, are attending a real Tennessee tea party.
And to me, it's the innocence, it's the beauty, it's just watching their behaviors and seeing how different birds behave different ways. And to think that it had that kind of impact, even if it was on one person, it's worth all the waiting and all the sweating and all the bird feed and everything, just to know that, it really made somebody's day. If anything, I'd like to say that I brought a little joy into some people's lives by sharing my photography.